Coming up right now, your chance to be a roadie for a day with a famous frontman, but you might have to kiss your savings goodbye.
Also coming up, Mamma Mia! A couple goes viral for their Italian-style gender reveal party.
Right. A little bit later on, rumor has it J-Lo wants a regular cup of joe despite her rich celebrity taste.
Oh boy, Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
I am Mitch English. Welcome everybody to Daily Flash. Yes, we got a great show set up for you. We got James working the floor and social media. James, everything good?
Everything is great.
Fantastic.
Please leave comments. I want to talk to you.
Hey, James is learning how to read, and he needs comments to read, apparently.
That's it.
He's hooked on phonics?
It's not. He's hooked on something. We're not sure yet, but hopefully rehab will help him. A guy who's done rehab and back, Matt Doolittle, is also with us.
Hi, Maddie.
Third time?
Third time. Yeah, we're not paying for it next time.
You know where you send those comments? You send them to flash@dailyflashshow.com, and you can go to our website, and that's where you'll find the links to all of our fantastic socials, my little preview reviews as well that are on our YouTube page.
All right. So a flight attendant has gone viral with her suggestion to all travelers, and the reason why she says
Stop
you
drinking.
should always lock up your toothbrush in your hotel's safe.
This is all new to me.
Oh, no. Don't do that.
I know where this is going. I know where it's going, and I don't know where it's been.
It's a flight attendant. What happened?
She says you should always put your toothbrush in your hotel room safe because you never know what the cleaning staff might do with your toothbrush while you're away from the room.
Okay. Now, there's always people worried about that, but I mean,
She
what
says
does
it
she
happens
know?
more often than you would
Oh,
believe.
that's...
They do stuff with
They
it because
take
they're
the
mad or
toothbrush
whatever.
and they clean certain parts of the bathroom, and they, it's there, it's convenient. They might not have a rag, so they grab your toothbrush and they start.
That's why I was brushing my teeth. It tastes like Thai food.
Yes.
I stayed at, I'm starting to see this more and more at hotels, and maybe because of COVID this happened, but I start to see now where they're saying, hey, you can leave money here, and then they also have a QR code if you want to tip your,
room service.
Room service. But you do that at the end of it, hoping that they won't do anything with your toothbrush. Or you tip thinking that they didn't touch my toothbrush altogether.
She also suggests anytime you go into these rooms, it's always a good idea to check the bathroom glasses. Never drink out of those. Only use something that's sealed in its packaging. Also, you might want to bring your own pillowcases and sheets if you can, because oftentimes those things are reused. I know, right? Why go to the hotel?
What you can do if you want to make sure, get a piece of paper and say, this bed was not made, and write it. And then when you leave, put it in the sheets, between the sheets.
Okay.
And then the next person will get in and they find the sheet. Like, that means that they did not change the sheets.
Yeah.
wow.
She also says you should check your rooms for mirrors. Check the mirrors to make sure they're not double-sided. And cameras. Apparently, 1 in 4 hidden cameras were found in vacation rentals across the U.S.
I believe that.
So she's an expert traveler. Obviously, she's got to stay at hotels for her living because if she's flying somewhere. So she's just saying these are some suggestions to think about. And oftentimes we just assume the hotel is safe.
we think so. Yeah.
We're not dealing with like a double-paned mirror in the bathroom. Somebody could be spying on us on the other side. Also, she said oftentimes if there are hidden cameras in a hotel room, they're usually in the alarm clock or in the curtains.
That's on them, then. They want to see what's going on. That's on them.
Well, yeah, I guess
When the
so.
wife and I travel, that's on you.
But the toothbrush in your
I don't
hotel
like
room
that.
is safe.
None of that.
There you go.
Well, I'm just not going to ever think of that.
I know.
I'm going to say it never has happened, and it never will happen.
Gonna wipe that from your mind.
I'm going to erase it all. I do travel, though, with my toothbrush has you put it inside the case, and it has ultraviolet lights that clean
there
it.
you go.
So I always
Okay.
take that along. Now I'm going to do it after every time I leave the room.
I would have think she would have said wipe down the remote, too.
And that's another thing.
That's it.
There's so much. And you know what? You think, well, high-end hotels will not have this issue. Sometimes they find that those high-end hotels have sometimes even more problems with stuff like this. So just don't think just because you're paying more that you're not going to have to worry about it.
And do you ever walk around the hotel room in bare feet?
I do.
See?
Last weekend, we went over to Tarpon Springs, and Liza would not. She travels with slippers.
Always.
Think about
flip flops. Yeah.
Yeah,
always.
it's a good idea.
And never knock on the door of Mitch English's door because you never know what you're going to get. Trust me.
Well, that's a
Trust me.
given.
I see
Hey,
things. I see things. How you doing?
Let's just say the moon is over whatever city
Yes.
you might be in.
Yes.
If you come out.
Full moon, whatever city Mitch English is in.
Let's move on from one to another rock and roller. If you were made for loving Gene Simmons, well, he wants you to become his next roadie. Don't Google roadie, by the way, but you might have to kiss your savings goodbye. It's a play on words. The ultimate Gene Simmons experience could be yours for $12,000. Yep, the pricey fan package is being offered during each scheduled stop on Simmons' solo tour, which kicks off next year. Fans will get the chance to roll with the 75-year-old Simmons for the day. You'll get a behind-the-scenes look at his show schedule, the load-in and the sound check, along with a backstage pass. Ticket includes dinner with Simmons and a gift bag. Now, Kiss has done, every band that is out today can thank Kiss for making money. Because here's what the deal is: when that's the only time they make money is when they're on tour.
Yeah,
that's where they make all of their money. Merchandise and ticket sales and that sort of thing. So you could thank Kiss for that. And Kiss also went out and say, "Yeah, we're in it for the money. We're not in it for the rock and roll per se." When they first started off, and they've always been that night. That's why you find Kiss stuff everywhere.
Kiss coffins.
Everything has a Kiss logo on it. He even has trademarked, the money bags symbol.
Yes.
That's his trademark. Is the money bags with the
So
dollars
Scrooge
on
McDuck
it.
has to pay him?
Scrooge McDuck would have to. He would have to get out of there.
I'm Gene Simmons from Kiss. Give me
What
your
about
money.
the emoji? Isn't that the money bag?
It's a specific one,
okay,
but he
all right.
could, I imagine, sue
Yeah.
you if you were a company and you wind up using
Yeah.
much.
And he will.
And he will, and he has.
yeah.
He loves it.
Not the most pleasant man in the world, but he is a rock star, and he knows he is, and so he acts like one. Let's just say that. And I'm like, okay, at least you are who you say you are.
Yeah, but you're also right. He's a great businessman, because if it hadn't been for his business acumen, they would not be the multi-million-dollar money makers that they've been for so many years.
And making the concerts just the explosions and pyrotechnics.
Sure.
They had a lot to do with that with the 70s.
But it's for one day?
For one day, 12
day.
grand for one day.
grand for
That's
One day,
and you know
get
what?
to have dinner with him?
You got to watch
Yeah.
him
At the
eat.
end of the table?
To watch him eat.
You get to watch him eat, but you do
And he
other
stares
things.
you in the eye while he eats his steak.
Caviar.
I would be afraid I'd spend that money and then I'd end up at dinner with his assistant. Oh, sorry, you could be here.
I have a thing.
And I could see that happening
Yeah.
too. And I've met him at least 4 times and and he was always nice to me.
Yeah.
He was, he knew what he was. There's on camera and there's an off camera. He was very pleasant. But when he is the ass of the world, he is the biggest ass of the
embraces it.
world. I'm telling you. And he'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Not like I'm personal one-on-one with the guy. I just want to see. So I have some respect for him, I guess you could say.
A Florida couple has gone viral for hosting an Italian-style gender reveal party. Mom-to-be Rosanna Fontana, this is
That's
her
really
name,
nice.
shared video of the
Wow.
festivities.
Of course she did.
The theme for the gender reveal, meatballs
But it's a
or
banana.
no meatballs.
doing?
Oh, I get it.
Yes. In the video, you see a restaurant employee bringing over a canister filled with tomato sauce. Fontana then pours it over a pan of pasta. There were no meatballs,
No, the meatballs.
inside the sauce, meaning they are expecting a girl. The family celebrated with a cake topped with a sugary replica of spaghetti and meatballs and a magnetic chalkboard for guessing the gender. The couple plans to name their baby girl Apollonia after the name of Al Pacino's wife in The Godfather. Isn't she the one that got blown up in the car? Apollonia?
We're doing our own show over here. But if it was,
That's not right.
we were just talking about what would they do if besides meatballs.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. So there you have it, the meatballs. So I know.
I want that away from me. I don't want that.
Yeah.
They're getting out of control. I'm okay with this. All right, it's funny, it's tongue in cheek. But these gender reveals, you're going to know what that baby is for the rest of its life. Why do you have to? It's just another. If you're doing it in lieu of a shower, I'll give you that.
Okay.
But now there's the baby reveal and then the shower afterwards. So like it's a fun trick that you could do at a baby shower.
And then I'm guessing there could be the baby name party if we're just trying to figure out how we milk the most out of these.
She didn't go to one
events.
if she's going to name it. Her name is Rosanna. What is
Rosanna
her?
Fontana.
Fontana, and you're going to name her kid Apollonia, which I believe wasn't that the one that jumped into Lake Montauk on Prince?
There were 9.
What is that, Lake Montauk? I forgot.
It's up in Minnesota.
Yeah. There were 9 black Mercedes. There's a bunch of guys that were there with ponytails and mustaches.
Oh.
I'm telling you that I thought Apollonia was the wife that got killed in the car explosion in the first Godfather. Why would you name her Apollonia?
Apollonia is, All I know is Prince.
Prince, that's what I was getting.
It was Apollonia, and I thought she
Lake
in Purple
Minnetonka.
Minnetonka,
right.
thank you.
Lake Minnetonka.
Which I should know that because I have seen that scene at least 1,700 times because it came out in the 80s when I was 12 years old.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Andrea Jackson. Nike is making one of the biggest bets in the company's history, and it is a big surprise to many. They're going to partner with reality star Kim Kardashian. Joining us to talk more about this new deal is Jordan Hart. She is a reporter for Business Insider. Jordan, welcome to Daily Flash.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So how much does Kim Kardashian's new company Skims have to do with this new partnership?
Yeah, I mean, this is a full-blown brand partnership. From what I've seen so far of the likes of the Jordan brand, we haven't seen the full scale because the product lineup hasn't been released yet. But it seems like Skims and Nike are going in a full-blown partnership, more than just maybe a collection of leggings, but a whole women's wear apparel line. So this seems like a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of these companies, they've got to adapt to new trends. What key factors have contributed to the massive success of Skims, in your opinion, and how does that compare to Nike's rise in the sportswear industry?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can't talk about Skims without mentioning Kim Kardashian's star power and her ability to sell pretty much anything. And with that comes a lot of brand recognition and people being able to see something and automatically associated with Kim Kardashian. And she really knows her audience. She has a really strong female audience. She's built her audience up, I mean, for like the past 20 or so years now. And so her recognition and knowing the people she's selling something to is, I think, Kim's strong suit. And kind of the same thing applies to Nike. They have that swoosh, that brand recognition, and they know all about star power. They're partnering with the best athletes in the world to bring out, shoes and product lines. So those two areas are where Nike and Skims really overlap.
Yeah, you go back to thinking about the Michael Jordan days, and that's a perfect example of just the perfect combination, when you talk about star power and a product. And like you mentioned, Kim has the influence, probably the original influencer, if we look at it. How has the collaboration between Nike and Skims, do you think, influenced the perception of athleisure and shapewear right now in the mainstream fashion? Because it seems like everybody's wearing it.
Yes. As far as Nike and Skims, I think time will tell. We haven't seen the clothes yet. We haven't seen which direction they're going to take it. But overall, I think athleisure has become so much more mainstream. Maybe 10 years ago, it wasn't as, common to see people wearing a workout set to go to the grocery store. And so Nike and Skims, their collection and their collaboration is coming at a really key time where this athleisure era is becoming so much more mainstream. They're going to Pilates and stuff like that. So I think this is really timely.
And you touched on this a little bit, Jordan. What do you think Skims' success says about the power of celebrity-driven brands in today's retail market?
The Kardashian-Jenner family, they know all about a celebrity brand. And I think more celebrities in recent years have taken advantage of that. I think that when it comes to celebrity brands, it's a way for them to kind of cut out the middleman almost of getting these endorsements and working with companies. They can talk directly to their audience and, they can say, this is from me and, this is from me to you. And I think that appeals to their audiences. And I think Kim Kardashian is the example of that. Again, the Kardashian Jenner family, they know all about a celebrity brand.
Yeah.
So I think that, celebrity brands, they are a way for celebrities to connect with the people who are in their audience. And I think that they kind of have a little bit more loyalty almost from their audience, if that makes sense, than, the standard brand because their face is attached to it. And it feels a little bit more personal. And like by buying this, I'm supporting this one person who I've been a fan of for X amount of years.
Sure, and they just make it look all that much more interesting, and you share that identity. And speaking of identity, what do you think about brand identity and future marketing strategies for women's apparel, not just for Skims and Nike, but for other companies?
Yeah, women's apparel is having a big moment right now as far as sports apparel specifically. Um, with the success of women's basketball, the Olympics were last year. So women's sports has a specific eye on it right now. And I think that brands, including Nike, are taking advantage of that and leaning into that popularity and boosting that momentum of visibility for women's sports is, and everyone is an athlete. And I think that's something that Nike mentioned in their press release to announce this, that if you have a body, you're an athlete. And I think by including that, they're kind of being a little bit more inclusive and leaning into, make this push for wellness and again, the visibility of women's sports. I think that fashion and sports are, intersecting in a really key way.
Very true. Jordan Hart, great to talk to you about this topic. Always good to see you and have that information for our viewers. And for more information on this story, all you have to do is head over to businessinsider.com. Jordan, thanks so much for joining us.
All right, thank you there, Jackson. And then there's this. Influencers are no strangers to making bold fashion statements, right? Well, one content creator recently shared a photo of herself trying on a white and red gown during London's Fashion Week. And despite the very expensive price tag and high fashion label, followers quickly pointed out the unfortunate color placement. Yeah, the shades of red featured on the dress had some folks raising a few eyebrows and kind of wondering, is this supposed to be wear like this or not? Don't think that was the case at all, Jackson.
Well, I'm not sure what sort of statement you're trying to make with this dress.
Right?
I mean, I'm not sure.
But that's what these fashion shows are always about, like these crazy clothes. And so that was probably an accident. People are like, oh, that looks great. I love it. I'm on that. It's wonderful. I assume that's how they talk.
Yes, or maybe it was just poor placement and somebody didn't really think it through.
I think you're right on that. All right, we got more of today's Trends, Tomorrow's Talk.
In this week's Boss Lady, we introduce you to one woman who started a honeybee operation in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Christy Allen founded the Bee's Knees in 2010. Since then, she's developed a thriving business selling honey and teaching beekeeping.
The Bee's Knees is a local beekeeping organization that is pedal powered both in honey delivery and honey extraction. We teach intensive beekeeping classes. We rent out our honey house to beekeepers. We sell beekeeping equipment, and we do advocacy and education around bees. Growing up, I really enjoyed swimming and camping and being outside. And then I saw the town change dramatically from, a lot of that open prairie or traditional farms to big box stores or strip malls. I took out a loan and went to China for 3 weeks, and it changed my life. It just opened my eyes to how big the world was. I started working in restaurants and then gradually finished my degree, but it took a while because I was sort of addicted to traveling and I kept taking trips. I felt like I was learning a lot more that way about myself and the world than I was in school. When I was being educated about bees, someone once said, you know a real beekeeper because they lean in instead of cower back, right? And I immediately leaned in. I was just the smell, the taste of real honey, and the sound. You know, they're buzzing all the time, and it's very meditative, and you have to be present with bees. And I was like, it's close to Halloween. I should paint my bike like a bee and dress up like one and hand out honey samples. So on Halloween, I did that. I actually started by delivering to people's doors. And in an age of technology where there's always a screen in front of who we're interacting with, I was really thirsty for who's my community, who are these people, let's talk about bees. And it worked. I think the hardest challenge for me was figuring out the model and the financial model. And I mean, as any business owner, that's a perpetual challenge. But your livelihood being dependent upon something that is dying or struggling to survive, it's a pretty big gamble you're taking.
See if we can find the queen. She's right there. And you'll see bees following her around. She's got her own little contingent.
Bees used to make 100 to 300 pounds of honey per hive, and now they make 40 to 60. And one of the things really impacting bee health is the overuse and misuse of pesticides. They impact the bees' ability to forage. They forget what they're doing, they forget to feed their young, and then the entire colony is in trouble.
It's like a washing machine. The centrifugal force pulls the honey out of the comb. There's a filter built inside the machine. So the really huge benefit of this machine is that it filters while you're extracting honey.
My role in the company is changing as I get older. I can't be hauling as much honey around on my bicycle. I hope it grows to a point where it can sustain itself and continue to do really good work with community. We have a political environment that is not friendly to the environment. But we as consumers have a ton of power. It's the only power we seem to have right now. And so using it wisely, supporting small businesses, small beekeepers, farmers that are growing food in a sustainable manner. That's number one.
So this is this year's harvest. So it's going to be a little bit different than what he was getting, but it's super delicious and drizzles real nice.
Number two is we're not involved in our political system nearly enough. Pick something that really matters to you. Planting flowers is a very simple thing that lots of people can do. Remember, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everybody. I am Mitch English.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash. Today's trends, tomorrow's chit chat.
Yeah, we love having you along for this ride.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I get to start off this half hour with some good news, and it comes from our buddy Dave Coulier from Full House. Remember him?
Yes.
If you remember back, I believe it was in October, a while back, he had come out and said that he has been battling stage 3 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Oh my goodness.
Type of cancer.
Yeah,
If you remember that,
sure.
a lot of people were worried, concerned about it. He actually just tweeted out last week that he's cancer-free. So he's actually gone through that. That's awesome. He didn't go public until like February, and that's why people were talking about it and that sort of thing. But he's had 0 cancer left. One of the few times in his life, he says, when 0 has been a great number. So
That's a great way to
and
look at it.
he'll always be, of course, his character off of Full House, and he's an accomplished comedian as well.
Yeah.
But it's good to see that because it does give hope to where we're at in the world when it comes to cancer. So good stuff with him.
Yeah.
Let's jump into some trending news stories. Looks like that word has it. Jennifer Lopez, or J-Lo, she's looking for love in new places, all following her recent split from Ben Affleck. Again, according to an insider, Jennifer says that she just wants a regular Joe, a businessman or maybe a blue-collar guy that stands next to cameras and just yells things out. James, you available?
James,
No?
you want it?
Yeah, no.
You want
Absolutely
you want to
not.
deal with that crazy?
Hey, I've been around that block. She's visited every house so far. So
She's been in that Diddy block.
No, oh yeah, no. So definitely not after that.
She's still Jenny from the block, so keep that in mind. She also wants somebody who actually thinks that she could be secure in himself, has nothing to do with Hollywood. The 55-year-old married to Ben Affleck from July 20th to January 2022 to January 2025 before the couple filed for divorce. As J-Lo sets her sights on a new partner, she's also trying to figure out what led to all her failed relationships. 100%, I would imagine being having somebody that's in the same industry, there's challenges, but there's also on the same side of that, I think of Dolly Parton and her husband who just recently died, about he was fine with it as well. And you know about Dolly Parton, it was just everywhere, especially back in the 70s. And he kind of was stepped back and let her take the limelight, and it worked for them.
Yes, a true partnership. Sometimes when you look at someone like J-Lo, you have to wonder, is she getting married for the sake of being married? Does she like getting married? Does she like the whole ceremony and the element of all of that? Which, that's fine, but then are you getting married for the wrong reasons, if that's the case? And I think she's up to 6 or 7 husbands.
Can I say, when you go to her Wikipedia and it has the spouse line, click to see more. That's a problem. And it's Ben Affleck, Mark Anthony, Chris Judd, and Ojani Noah?
Yes.
So she's got
but she
4
married Ben
official.
twice, so right?
No, they were
she
just
was
engaged.
Oh, engaged. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But she's got 4 official. And she was with A-Rod and all that other stuff.
You did say
too.
Mark Anthony, right?
Mark Anthony,
Yeah,
yes.
okay, they have 2 kids.
That was the longest
Isn't
one.
that it sounds like a movie plot? Wasn't she in the movie the same thing where she was a
Like
superstar?
5 movies where they were
Right,
all
like
and
some
she was
kind of, Made in
Was
Manhattan.
that the
Made in
one?
Manhattan.
Where she
Made in
was
Manhattan.
superstar?
I think she was an actual maid in that one.
Yeah, you're right.
Which she had this whole scene about going through and picking up people's toothbrushes.
Stop doing that motion.
Nice tie-in.
But I could see it. I mean, it's 2 different worlds, and she does need somebody. I think that's why a lot of times, like big-time actresses marry successful businessmen, obviously for the money, and they don't need the security.
Yeah.
But they obviously have some. They don't need a person. Maybe that's what she might need. She's like, I need to find somebody that doesn't need me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for
I don't know though, because she seems like the type of person that likes to have that celebrity. She likes the A-Rod, she likes the Ben Affleck, she likes all the attention that comes with that.
And maybe that says something to do with the marriages, because we do know that when you do get married, you're in the press more,
Right.
and you get more recognition, and people are talking about you, and whether it be good or bad, people are talking about you, and I imagine that feeds that ego.
Because she was married to a backup dancer, and then I'm trying to think, I thought one of the guys she was married to was kind of more of a blue-collar guy.
I think so. Matt,
maybe he was a choreographer.
The original, her original husband, Ojani Noah, was more.
Ohani.
Yeah.
Ohani, who Hugo is good friends with.
Our executive producer,
yeah. So we can check that out. All right, well, J-Lo, if you do get married or want to get married, let us know. We'll let everybody else know.
Or call James Alexander.
Or call James.
No.
We'll be back with more right after.
Just call James.
Call James.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Beauty and lifestyle editor Joanne Butler joins us with the 2 must-haves for your skin this season. Hi, Joanne.
Oh, hi. Thanks for having me. We were just at the SAG red carpets last night, and it was all about beautiful, glowing skin. And everyone knows the key to getting that is, eating right, exercise, good sleep, and a good skincare routine. It's just everything, especially this time of year. So I always look for a little extra hydration, and I am loving this from Biossance. It's their new Plump and Hydrate set. It's 4 products, their best-selling cleanser, serum, eye and face cream, that all work together to plump and lift your skin. And each of these are powered by sugarcane-derived squalane, which is this like bioengineered superpower that mimics the moisture in your skin and actually boosts the absorption of other skincare agents by 40 times. So it's just amazing stuff. You can also feel good about using it. It's vegan, pregnancy safe, and it's just $59 exclusively at Sephora and Sephora.com. And it retails for more than $83. So this is really a steal right now. So get your hands on it. Now, once your skincare is in check, my little secret to get a great glow is this Milk Makeup's Hydro Grip Gel Tint. I'm so happy to have it because it just launched and there's a 12,000 person wait list for it. It's just this beautiful, super weightless gel formula that leaves you with a smooth, hydrated glow. It has hyaluronic acid and vitamins that give you even more of a hydration boost by 24% actually. And it won't fade or crease or settle into your lines, and it helps your makeup do the same, you know? So it just gives you the smooth canvas. It comes in 15 buildable shades, up to 12 hours of coverage. It's clean, non-comedogenic, and it's just $36 at milkmakeup.com and Sephora.com, and in Sephora stores starting February 28th. So definitely get your hands on this if you can. Get on that list. Now, what else we saw on the red carpets? Eyeshadow back big time. This is Lukita Maxwell from Shrinking. Just love her. Lots of color all the way up to the brow, so the eyes have it. Metallic, smoky pastels, any color goes. Also, beautiful, bold red lips. So pretty simple, nice bold red lip, beautiful eye color, and of course, perfect skin.
If you want to live like a Kardashian, now's your chance. Kris Jenner is selling the mansion featured in Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Asking price? $13.5 million. The compound, not to be confused with the fake house used for exterior shots on the show, can be purchased with all the furnishings for an additional $400,000. 69-year-old Kris Jenner and her ex-husband Caitlyn purchased a 6-bedroom, 8-bathroom home for $4 million back in 2010. The 8,800 square foot house went on to serve as one of the main backdrops for the series.
It's a pretty good ROI, right?
Yes, return on investment.
Lots of changes there, I'm sure, much like their marriage was as well.
Yes.
So 13 and a half, probably a decent price, but keep in mind, people are going to probably want to come by and look at it.
That's the other thing with these celebrity-driven homes. You've got to deal with crowds that may be showing up at your doorstep that you're not expecting.
All right, a woman lived out her lifelong wish, all for her 104th birthday. Officers actually allowed her, because she wanted to spend time locked up behind bars. That's what she wanted. This is not a joke. Miss Loretta saw her bizarre dream come true when she got tossed into the Gray Bar Hotel. She was even offered a private tour of the facility where she was shown the surveillance system and the booking office. Loretta looked thrilled in the pictures that they took of the experience. Her trip also included a party with coffee and cake. Not sure if they give you that if you're in jail, but possibly.
Did it have a nail file and a cake?
That's probably right. Before leaving jail, Loretta shared her secret to living a long life. She says, just mind your own business. That's pretty good advice, wouldn't you say?
That's great advice.
Do you know that mind your own business was actually, instead of In God We Trust, was actually on the coin? It said mind your business, Ben Franklin.
No.
The original one, I'm not joking.
I love that.
We should all mind our own business,
Yes.
right?
Hey, LG Electronics USA is building on its commitment to supporting students' well-being by partnering with the National Alliance on Mental Illness to provide mental health resources to the host schools of the men's and women's 2025 NCAA Final Four teams. LG is awarding the University of San Antonio, University of Incarnate Word, and University of South Florida $10,000 each to bolster their NEMI on-campus chapters. Here's more.
As a partner of the NCAA, LG Electronics USA is building on its commitment to supporting student well-being by partnering with NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness.
We have created a platform focused on helping to raise awareness of a mental health issue among student athletes.
It's not what you say, it's what you do. And as LG says, life is good. How do we show life is good? By giving back, by being a part of. And when you do this work with students on campus, NAMI on campus, and actually contribute, you being LG, contributing to these universities to create NAMI on campus. Our students need community. They need conversation. They need to know it's okay to talk about their mental health.
It's a very stressful role for them. Many different things that they have to think about, from academics to the sports that they play. So having some opportunities to support them and the challenges that they're facing, it's very important to have those support structures for them.
I mean, the need for mental health continues to increase, so being able to get the resources to match that need so we can provide that support to students and really kind of help them know, and give them that hope that, hey, if you're having a rough go of it and life's hard, we have the resources and the support to help you out and kind of get you through it.
The initiative strengthens LG's ongoing dedication to championing mental health awareness for student athletes and the broader campus community.
So the initiative strengthens LG's ongoing dedication to championing mental health awareness and resources for student athletes and the broader campus community. To learn more about LG's partnership with the NCAA and NAMI, visit www.lg.com/NCAA.
Let's check in now with Tony Toscano to find out what's coming out of Hollywood and straight to your screen, no matter what size you're going to watch it on. With the latest, here's Tony.
Thanks, Mitch. In theaters now is the family film, The Unbreakable Boy.
Check out my sweet new board.
Why are you such a jerk, man? Give it back.
It's not, but you can borrow sometime.
Why do you even want to be friends with him? Because he's sad. Here's a cute fact. Sometimes a sad moment feels happy. And sometimes a happy moment feels sad.
The film focuses on a young boy with both a rare brittle bone disease and autism, and how he navigates the world around him.
In order to get to the final destination of what is a message of hope and love and acceptance, we go through the darkness of the human condition. And I think that's important. I want to tell stories that really resonate with people, where people can see their own conflict, their own struggles, but feel uplifted at the end of it. And I think that's what people will take from the film.
The Unbreakable Boy is a wonderfully touching, humorous, and uplifting film about the power of love and family. Again, it's in selected theaters and gets an A. It's rated PG. Streaming on Apple TV Plus is the mystery thriller series, Surface.
I have to go back to where it all started, with you, with your family.
Who's your friend? Do you not remember her? She used to work at the stables. We were friends. And then one day she just vanished.
The series centers on a woman's quest to rebuild her life after a suicide attempt and her struggle to understand all the things that led up to that moment. I chatted with series stars Gugu Mbatha-Raw, Millie Brady, and Oliver Jackson Cohen.
And I think as an audience member, what I think comes across as well watching it is that you're wanting to understand why these characters are so drawn to each other, which I don't want to give any spoilers away, but that then reveals itself and is an absolute bomb in the middle of this world.
And they're both sort of on the quest for the truth, really, but for their own sort of motives. I think Sophie's very much trying to investigate this family and, almost expose them, but I think Eliza, in her own way is trying to kind of, find the truth about her own family secrets as well.
It feels like the right kind of journey, and also I think it's the most satisfying journey for an audience, that this man has been left. He's sort of been abandoned by his wife, all his money's been taken, and so he's wanting revenge. He wants to track her down, and he wants to find her, and he wants to destroy her life.
Surface Season 2 ups the ante from Season 1, which had a very slow start. Season 2 offers more suspense and more intrigue. Again, Surface is streaming on Apple TV Plus and gets a B. It's rated TVMA. For the Daily Flash, I'm film critic Tony Toscano.
A self-proclaimed most liked man on Hinge claims he's failed to land a date because he claims all his matches are just after his money. 32-year-old Alex Puxley joined the dating app Hinge back in January. He says he's racked up around 3,000 likes and 1,500 matches. Alex uses his pet cockapoo named Rafi in most of his photos. Now, despite his online Casanova status, he has struggled to find true love. He suggests there's an epidemic of shallowness on dating apps. No, you're kidding.
Really?
And claims most users are only interested in how much money he earns and what kind of car he drives.
All right, well, it looks like these are from him, and he takes a picture of him in front of his car, you know, and he's a good-looking guy, by all means. I can understand that, but why not put on your profile if you're after money, don't contact me, or whatever. Or make it look like you're poor if you want, you know what I'm saying? Like, stand in front of a Pinto.
But clearly, money and status is part of his image.
Exactly, which you know, they have people that will help you make an online profile altogether. A lot of the women say he's probably picking because he's not shirtless and holding a fish. Because when I was dating, I had so many saying that. So much so I wanted to go into Publix and go down and hold like you know, like a piece of salmon and take my shirt off. Because there's so many of them. But I feel sorry for the guy. I mean, he just doesn't have anything going for him. He just can't find love at all.
And I don't know. I mean, he's a dog person. That's a plus.
Why not put that on there?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, he says he has photos of him with his cockapoo, so that's
true,
a plus. But I don't know. Maybe is Hinge an app where it's money driven? I'm not familiar.
I was on Hinge. I can't remember how exactly it works, but it's much like the other ones.
Yeah.
And I went for $30. That's where you met. So you work Hinge.
Oh.
I paid the $30.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Time for some must-watch movies. A couple adopts an 8-year-old girl with a rare form of dwarfism, but questions soon arise concerning the actual identity of the girl. This is today's must-watch Hulu series, Good American Family.
Hi, is this Mrs. Barnett? I see you were on the path to adopting. We have a little girl here. She is 7, and she has dwarfism.
And what's her name?
Natalia Grace.
Natalia Grace. That is beautiful. This is Natalia.
Are you gonna be my mommy and daddy?
We sure would love that if you'll have us.
It's a tragedy, really. I mean, we're her second adopted family. First one gave her back. My God, why? No idea why.
Are you giving me back too?
What? Of course not.
Eat up, sweet pea.
Tastes a lot better with a big squirt of ketchup.
Do you have her school records? That's her birth certificate.
This one's not even in English. Why is this bothering you? They let her in, right?
We're supposed to be on the same team.
Don't do that. We are on the same team.
Something is off. She has adult teeth. There are signs of puberty. Michael? I don't think she's a little girl.
We're with Child Protective Services.
What?
There's been some concern about the safety of the children in your home.
Did someone leave you there?
You have no idea how those people hurt this girl. We are helping her. She's choosing to con us. You're choosing to believe her.
You're the one lying to me.
You should get a lawyer.
What the hell are we supposed to do now?
The photo isn't her. She stole someone's identity.
I don't know what's going on.
How old are you?
If you tell a story well enough, truth doesn't always matter.
Folks just love a good American family.
All right. It looks like a wild movie,
Yes.
right?
Oh my goodness, it looks good. That does it for us. Thanks so much for spending time with us. Be good, everybody.